How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Strictly Nintendo, where we are going to be wrapping up our review of all the Nintendo-related news coming out of E3 2014, and we are going to do so with a look at Nintendo's overall performance, and what a performance it was. If you look at the 3DS alone, it's got a very solid lineup, a very strong lineup. You know, we already have all the great DS games with the backwards compatibility, plus all the great games that are already available for the 3DS. But here you have a lineup of the continuation of the Persona and Monster Hunter series, as well as Smash Brothers, which is going to be huge, as well as the revamp of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which is, you know, Pokemons are always solid games and have a huge following. And then the new IP of Codename Steam, which is shaping up to be really interesting. And I think that's actually going to be very surprising and do quite well. Plus, we have the NFC peripheral coming out. There's a lot to carry us well into 2015 with the 3DS, and I'm sure that by this time next year, we'll be having a very similar conversation. And then there's the Wii U. And the Wii U it shined so beautifully in E3 this year. It has, if you look at first, second, and third-party games, both exclusives and multiplats, it has nearly 20 games coming out between now and the end of 2015. The majority of those are actually exclusives. And I see so much online on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and YouTube, so many people talking about, I was on the fence about a Wii U, and I just got it with the Mario Kart bundle. What other games are great? Or I'm normally a Sony fan or a PC fan, and the Wii U had such a stellar performance, I had to go out and buy one. You know, and I've even seen some people say that they sold their PS4 and got a Wii U and kept their PS3 instead. So, you know, it's great to see so much energy and enthusiasm about the Wii U. It's such a great system. And, you know, I read so much online as well as people saying, you know, I was on the fence about the Wii U. My friend had one. I played it and I love it. It's great. And I think that that's key. And now that they have the software that's going to, you know, really interest people into getting a Wii U, that I see a bright future for the Wii U. I really do. You have such a strong lineup and such variety. You know, whether you're a kid, whether you're an adult, whether you're more family-oriented, whether you're a female or a male, there's something for you. You know, you have everything from Kirby and Captain Toad to Bayonetta and Devil's Third and Watch Dogs and Project Cars. There's just so much to enjoy. You know, there's just so much inclusivity that Nintendo has packed into this lineup, and it can only get better. With Star Fox, that, you know, that shows that Nintendo was listening. With their Robot Chicken aspects of the digital event, that showed that they had a sense of humor, they owned up to their mistakes, and they're listening. You know, they really turned ship, and I think that now that transition from the Wii to the Wii U, they've really been able to manage that. It's really, you know, solidified and gotten them back on top. And I'm just really, really happy about this. The digital event was absolutely amazing. I love the fact that they cut the media out of it and they went directly to the consumers, directly to us gamers, and said clearly and concisely, this is what we have. And pretty much the whole message was, Wii U, game, you know, where nobody else did that. And you know, I mean, to be fair, it's always like that with consoles. The console launches with a select few titles, and then there's a drought for about a year, which is why I've always waited for a year before I ever got a console. So, you know, I know it was a little tougher for Nintendo because they really didn't, they messed up by underestimating the manpower and involvement of making HD games. But the fact that they're getting their stuff together and they're listening to us fans and they're really turning ship, it's just an amazing thing. I love how before E3, all the media was like, Nintendo's skipping E3 again. No, they're skipping you. And they're skipping you because you've been completely unfair and completely misleading for the whole year that they've been struggling. I'm not saying that Nintendo didn't have faults. I'm just saying that you basically kicked dirt in their face and kicked them while they were down, and you're mad that they skipped you. And then after E3, the media's like, the digital event is the future of E3. It's like, you can't have it both ways, But yeah, the digital event, the brilliance of it is that it was clean, concise, and there was no mistake. So they could just go game, and overload you with a lot of great information to get excited about. And then they had the Treehouse live streams, which gave you even more information. So not only did you know there was all these games coming out, you actually got to see more about it, hear from the developers, and then hearing from the developers as well as, hearing from Reggie himself. I hate that Mr. Iwata wasn't there. I hope he's feeling better. But, hearing from them, it really, it makes a connection between us gamers and them, and it further shows that they're listening and that they care about us, or at least about creating quality experiences and creating quality software and hardware for us to enjoy. So that's really positive there. I think that it was great in general. They clearly won E3 in my opinion. They rose above the rest. Smash Brothers and the Amiibo took E3 by storm and created a huge buzz. The Zelda, even as small as it was and not showing us a whole lot, there's a huge buzz about that. And then the cool little aspects that we saw about Star Fox. The only thing they did a stellar review, and this is me being nitpicky, but I think that they really could have dropped another bombshell and let us know what Retro was up to. After E3, Miyamoto and Reggie were both, quoted in interviews saying that Metroid is being internally discussed. We know it's Retro, okay? Retro's been finished with Donkey Kong Country since, fall of last year. They've been working on something new since November. We know that they have posted applications, for people who, developers who specifically specialize in boss creation and boss battles. Reggie was on VGX Awards in December, talking about Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, had a gentleman from Retro there, noted that Retro is, behind the critically acclaimed Metroid Prime series, had a Samus lapel pin, and then now, Miyamoto says that, Retro is a clear candidate for continuing the Metroid series with a new game, and then Reggie is saying, yeah, we're discussing it internally. We know that that's what Retro is up to. I mean, 2 + 2 still equals 4. This may be not that simple. It may be more of an algebraic equation, but this is a very simple variable to discover. I think that, on the last day of E3 when Reggie was there on the Treehouse Live, I really do believe that, they could have done some type of little segue where they could have mentioned the Robot Chicken animation, and then somebody could have jokingly said, yeah, good thing they didn't ask about Metroid. Reggie could have said something like, well, Metroid's a different story. We're actually talking about it internally. And that would have just been like a massive jaw-dropping, grand slam, in my opinion. But the fact is we know that Metroid's coming, Star Fox is coming, Zelda's coming and looks beautiful. It's open world. Nintendo is really listening, doing a great job, and they stole the show, in my opinion. And I'm very excited, as a Wii U owner, and for all the new Wii U owners, we have just so much to enjoy already, and even more to enjoy throughout 2015 and beyond. So I expect to hear more about Star Fox, see a lot of Zelda, and hear more about Metroid come 2015. And we'll definitely be doing another wrap-up like this in stages so that you can check out just the videos you're interested in. But that will do it for this episode of Strictly Nintendo. Nintendo did a phenomenal job at E3 this year. I couldn't be happier. Don't forget to like, comment, favorite, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care.